Good evening, YouTube. This is Kaylin String coming at you with my regular Sunday night dinner and the last meal for February. And I have a special one tonight. This is a US MCW, or as it says, meal cold weather. This is menu 6, seafood chowder. I have been wanting to try this one ever since I got into getting into rations, and every time I would look for them on certain sites, they just would not have this one. But DeCarlos Perry saw my post on a Ration Facebook group, and he said that he had an extra because he has had this one before, and so he just offered it to me, did not ask anything in the trade. So he just sent it to me. So shout out to DeCarlos Perry. So he does reviews occasionally when life is not throwing him curveballs. Let's see who's in the chat. We got Chris. We got Pat. I see. It says something's weird. There is Pete in the house. I see 3 names, but only 1 in the chat, so I don't know if someone got kicked out or what, but anyway. So something might be messed up, but this has a peelable seal. And these bags are thicker than the usual MRE bags. They're almost as thick as the brown bag MREs or the older tan bags. Yeah, it shows 1. So I don't know if the 2 others who are in here got booted or if something is just messed up. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get into this. I have a kettle of water on the stove. Because these MCWs contain a freeze-dried main made by Mountain House. And so they require a lot more water. There we go. First out of the pack, a shaker pouch. This is lemon lime. This calls for 12 ounces of water. So I grabbed the correct bottle out of the fridge. We have the spoon, which will come in handy for mixing the main. Got just your standard crackers. It says MCW accessory pack. Fudge Brownie. By the way, these bags are all done by the Warnick Company, and they do not have date codes on the outside, but 2017. And we have another shaker pouch. Oh, wow. Got soup, noodles, ramen, chicken flavor. So I may not have put enough water in the kettle. I don't know. So I will use the meal bag as my trash. So here is the Mountain House, the seafood chowder. Check the chat. Oh wow, Chris, that would be pretty interesting if you could actually go into their facility. I brought one bowl out for the seafood chowder. I might have to go get another bowl if I choose to go ahead and do this soup, this ramen. I'll go ahead and get into the accessory pack. Got hot sauce. I don't think that goes well with seafood chowder, but maybe the ramen. Coffee creamer. There's sugar. The Genial coffee. There are better Ration coffees out there. Wet wipe. Matches. Rear roll. Oops. And the peppermint gum. So I am going to move a few things aside that I will not be using. I'm opening up the spoon because that will be needed to stir the chowder. And the lemon lime drink will go into the drinking jar. Oop, that didn't. There we go. This is the same coffee that was in the last MCW that I had. Not all that long ago. creamer packet. Didn't want to open right, but I got it all in there. I'll just put that back there. Now, these things do not have tear notches, so I have to get the cheaters out. Nope, I didn't quite get below the seal. I'll have to do it again. I heard the hiss though, but didn't quite get it low enough. So there is what it looks like in the pouch. There is prep for it. There is Justin. See who else is in here. There is the Carlos, the guy who sent this to me. Again, thanks to Carlos for sending this here. The ramen calls for 8 ounces, and these usually call for like a couple of cups. I'm opening up the ramen. I decided to go ahead and open it up. It may be hard to see in there. Here, I'll take one of my, I'll grab a book light. Might not want to focus, but you should be able to see in there, sort of. Well, I got it pinched. But okay. Put the book light back up. So what I will do is I will go to the kitchen. I will get my kettle and I will get another bowl for the ramen. So hopefully I should have enough hot water in there for all of it. And of course the coffee. And I'll be, oh, Rachel, there's sunshine in the house. Thanks for dropping in. For those who just came in, this is MCW Menu 6 Seafood Chowder. I'll be right back. I am back. Since this will take the longest, I'm going to pour the water in here first. I grabbed my insulated bag that I'm dropping this into because this pouch will be hot. I'm pouring it off camera so that I don't steam it up. I'm going to give you guys a steam bath. I'll use this spoon to mix it because my 4-and emery spork will be too small, too short. Binder goes there. The coffee I will stir with the spork. There is James Ortiz in the house. Thanks for dropping in. I'm going to pour the rest of the water in here. And I'm going to put my ramen in this bag also. Still got a little bit more water to pour in there. Even though I zipped it, I'm putting another clip on top of the ramen pouch. And I'm shaking both at the same time. And I have just a tiny bit of water left in the kettle, so I'm just going to throw it in the coffee. I made a bit of a mess, but I'll take care of that. I brought a plate in. I thought I was going to do something different with the ramen, but I decided, nope, I'm not doing that. But I have this bowl for the ramen. Now I'm going to get the drinking jar. And we'll see how this lemon lime drink looks. See, this Ziploc was sealed, but the ramen one was not, so I found that a bit odd, unless I just pulled it open when I was trying to open it because it ripped kind of weird. So here is what the lemon lime powder looks like. I usually fill it up there for probably what would approximate 12 ounces. I'm just going to check the chat while I stir. Oh, someone's been hanging out with zombies? Oh, there's Aletha in the house. Thanks for dropping in, my Iowa sister. Most of the time I do these drink powders first because they take a while to dissolve, but since I'm doing a freeze-dried entree, I decided to go ahead and do all the hot stuff first. I'll give this a stir later, but you can get an idea of what the color looks like. So I will put that there. Yeah. Ectoplasm. Or it's kind of like that slime color that was on a kid's show where, the cast members would be doing something on the set, and at some point something would open up above their heads and they would get doused in slime. Although I think that slime might be a bit of a darker green. And just going back through the chat. James, did you ever get to go to the set, or did the big nasty just get in the way of that? By the way, I'm opening up the brownie. Oh, there's Mike in the house. Thanks for dropping in. Oh, good. That's good to hear, James, that you're on demand. I'm going to plug the brownie right here. Get this oxygen absorber out of here. And for those just joining in, this is my dinner tonight. MCW Menu 6 Seafood Chowder. See, there are no spreads for these crackers, so what I would assume is the soldier in the field would simply bust up the crackers and stick them in the soup, or dip them in the soup, and they would drink the ramen, because the ramen noodles are probably maybe no bigger than the letters on this cracker pack. Yeah, we know you're a kid. Let's see if I can get a hiss out of this thing without messing it up. No hiss. Huh. That's a bummer. I wanted to get a hiss out of the crackers, but nope. But as you can see, this is wrinkled a bit, so I don't know what happened to that. I think these are going to be, these are already going to start to break, but that's okay because they're going to be broken up anyway. Oh, that is the crackers. The ramen I'm going to go ahead and take out because they don't take as long to rehydrate. I'll just hope this bowl let's see this. Oh yeah, this will be big enough. So there is the ramen. So you can see how small the pieces of the noodle are. There's carrots and peas, chicken bouillon. I tried to get a pea and a carrot. I think that's corn, but I could be wrong. Nope, there's actually corn in here. But because it's yellow, it's hard to tell from the coloring of the chicken bouillon that's used in this. And I think it is kind of odd that you would get two soups in one ration. What I'm going to do is I have this plate here. I'm going to put this on top of the ramen. And I'm going to give this, I'm just giving this drink another stir because there's still some powder that hasn't quite dissolved, but it's gotten clear. Now it looks like the color of that soda that was called Surge. I don't know if any of you remember that soda called Surge. It was an extra caffeinated lemon lime drink. There is JW in the house. Thanks for dropping in. And thanks for sending Sean those two pies, those meat pies. That was a very cool thing to find. And take a taste of this. Just tastes like your typical artificial lemon lime drink. Yep, I drank a lot of that Surge. I really liked it. I'm still waiting on the seafood chowder to rehydrate. So this is a look at the brownie. It looks like it took a bit of a beating in the bag. I'm going to break it so you can see what it looks like inside. To get it away from the shadow that's caused by my phone mount. By the way, this little piece right here is actually part of the phone mount. I can't get it out of the picture. It's definitely chocolatey. It feels like it's got the texture of a cake and a fudge all in one. So although it has a texture of a cake, it's a fine texture. Angry Blacksmith is in the house. Thanks for dropping in. But it's a good brownie. I wouldn't mind having those again. So again, for those just coming in, MCW menu 6, seafood chowder. It was kindly sent to me by DeCarlos Perry. And for an Emery in the house, thanks for dropping in. Taking a sip of the coffee. Thanks for that super chat. It's definitely Art, but I don't know if Nina's there with him. They like to watch YouTube on TV, so... I'm going to go ahead and take the chowder out of the Reflectix bag. See, I have 3 of these bags. This is the widest one. And I got 2 of these from Minotaur Trading Company. They had put glass items in it. And then the other one, I bought a sausage online, and it was shipped in one of those. Because these Mountain House pouches don't have zip locks, if you can get these binder clips, or something, just any clip like that, that way you can keep it closed. Now I'm going to bring in the second bowl, which actually will not fit on this tray, so I'm going to have to move the tray aside. Wow, I almost need a bigger bowl. And it all came out. Almost, maybe I should have got my Tupperware tray. And again, I could always, since I only have 2 items on the tray, in fact, I think I'll just move the crackers to this part right here. So here is the seafood chowder. And I like my chowder a little thinner. There's one clump that didn't want to come apart, but before I add anything to it, let's see, there is a pea. There is a piece of, I'm going to say this is a clam. Oh, that rehydrated pretty well. This is the bigger piece of, I'm not sure what it is, but I'm about to find out. Yep. That one might have been an oyster. Had a slightly different texture. But it seemed to have rehydrated pretty well. I mean, it's a bit chewy. But I would expect that for something like this. Oops. The potatoes, that was a chunk of potato, so they fully rehydrated. That's not too bad. And of course, you know what you got to do with the soup. There is Marilyn in the house. Thanks for dropping in. It was awesome to see you hanging out with the CT when he came to visit your area. There is a Puppy Breath in the house. Thanks for dropping in. Yep, the crackers, of course, these are nowhere near like your regular old saltines, but they do the job. I think the rest of those crackers I'm going to put in the ramen just to give that a little crunch. I suppose if someone wanted to, they could put this hot sauce in with the ramen. So this is the chicken ramen. I'll actually put that, see, I can put this bowl on the tray. Yeah, it fits. So now I can have both in view. Dropping some cracker in here. The crackers will absorb some of the liquid from there. And I'll just put the rest in here. I think that should be enough cracker for the ramen. See any bits? Well, I'll deal with them little bits later. Yep, that definitely works for the ramen. See, I'm going to scroll up, see what you're all... Oh, thanks for dropping in, Marilyn. Catch you on the flip side. By the way, if you have not yet tried any of Maryland's gooey butter cakes, you have to do so. Normally you would go to anneandalan.com, but right now while the site gets rebuilt, everything is going through the parkavenuecoffee.com site. So from there, you can get the butter cakes, you can get the coffee. When I bought my birthday cake for myself, I bought the 2-pack of the holiday cheer coffee and the holiday blend. There was a special on those. It was after Christmas, obviously, so or still, because I ordered it in late December, and I almost didn't get it because some nuthead decided to put my package in a vacant apartment. But a maintenance guy found it, so I was able to have my birthday cake. But I had the espresso chip cake. And that one is a good one. So I drank all of the holiday cheer coffee. Now I'm drinking the holiday blend. That's got a different flavor, but I really, really like them both. Oh, there's yeah, I don't know if she can do that or how well that would work, but I'm sure that it might work. You probably have to find a specific type to put in there. Yeah, in Missouri, and when she was on CT's channel, when they were sharing a pizza and a butter cake in his truck, she was talking about the cafes that are there, and all but one of them is open and running. The one that's closed, I guess there is something going on with the building that this particular location is in, but all the others are running. Yeah, this seafood chowder is pretty good, but I would think it could do with a little bit more pepper. Yeah, I turn my autocorrect off because it likes to flag my city name as a misspelled word. Oh, I didn't get any megabyte rations. I looked at them on I think Marie's had the megabytes. But I did not get one of those. But if that's unless it's a totally different one that's that you guys are talking about. Oh, okay. Well, in that case, that one I hope that a lot of those you can sell all of them that you have. I suppose whoever gets that one might be enough food for a day. Or maybe a couple hours. Oh, cool. So are you already selling those for that? Or will that be just with later versions? Oh, cool. Well, hi back to Zach. And a little fuzz face. Yep. Well, speaking of the time change, I don't know where it's gotten, but someone tried to introduce a bill in the Iowa legislature that would put that so-called daylight savings time as permanent all year, where we would not drop back in the fall. But that would only take effect if all of the surrounding states would do the same. So, you know, Nebraska and, Missouri, Wisconsin, Illinois, South Dakota, Minnesota. I don't know if Kansas would. If all those states that border Iowa would have to do a same type of law in order for the Iowa law to take effect if it got passed here. But I don't know if I don't know where it's at. Could it be possible to hold one back for Aletha? Or someone just buys it and then just sits on it until she's ready to get it. Now, those potholders can be handy at times. I do like to keep a few of them around. I would say this chowder, if I were to put a scale on it, I would put it at an 8. It needs a little bit more pepper. But other than that, I am enjoying it. Some people probably like their chowders a little bit thicker. Of course, putting the crackers in did thicken it up a little bit. But the bits of seafood did reconstitute pretty well. Some are a bit chewy, but you know, that's to expected for what it is. Time change that happens first. See, because March 1st is tomorrow. It's not on a weekend. It's let's see, I forgot which. Oh yeah, there we go. It's the 14th. But I think this time change has outlived its usefulness. There are a few states that don't bother with it. I think Arizona is one that doesn't do it, but I could be wrong. And I'm sure there are some countries that don't do it. In Europe, they do it different than here. Oh, plain old Chuck in the house. Thanks for dropping in. Oh, if it's a seafood chowder like this, yeah, I'll eat it up. I think, oh, there's a little shrimp. It looks a little bit washed out on my screen, but there is definitely, it looks like a shrimp right there. Yep, fresh caught is better. But if this is what you have to go on and you need a bit of protein, this would be a good source. That Genio coffee kind of reminds me of Taster's Choice. It doesn't compare to a good type 1 or type 2 or the Chilean coffee. Now, corn chowder is I don't think it's popular all over the U.S., but in some places you might actually be able to buy it canned or in a dry mix. Yeah, it'd be nice to have a Mountain House corn chowder. Now I think that would be a hit. But it would be nice if this one had a few more vegetables. There's only a few bits of vegetables in here. You can see the herbs or seasonings in there, but I think it still could use more black pepper. USMREs need to put salt and need to put pepper in there besides the salt. And when you notice when I open the accessory pack, there's no salt. Yeah, this and the ramen, they're salty enough. Oh, speaking of small batch freeze dried, there is a new one that Iridium 242 has been showing on his channel. I think it's called like wholesale freeze dried foods. They're in blue bags. And they do solid meats like chicken, beef, even shrimp. And they do desserts. He showed some desserts. Going after more of the ramen just for the heck of it. And there's Packet Gourmet. Some of those you have to cook instead of just pour the water in the bag and rehydrate it like a Mountain House or Backpacker's Pantry. There's Peak Refuel. Wise Company has some of the camping foods that you just pour the hot water in the pouch like you would a Mountain House. And they're Stowaway Gourmet that a few people have tried. And there are several other brands out there that do the backpacking type, or the ones that you just, like this one, you just pour the water in the bag, stir it or shake it up, and then let it sit for however much time. There's also Alpine Air. That's another one. Dave's 45 Auto has reviewed a few of those. But some of those can be a lot more expensive than Mountain House. Oop. Sorry about that. Bumped my mount. I can't think of any other brands right offhand, but I have seen a few others on different channels. And of course, in Australia, they have their own brands, and over across the pond in England, they have their own brands. It'd be awesome to try some of those. Someone from here in the States sent some Mountain House pouches to a guy who has a channel called Kent Survival. And he reviewed a couple of those on his channel. Yeah, I watched a video of him earlier today where he did a night just underneath a tarp, and he carved a spoon. He brought us a carving set and carved another spoon. Yeah, that might be an interesting one to try also. Of course, what would be even cooler is if you had access to your own freeze dryer, then you can knock out your own and put whatever the heck you want in it. That would be pretty darn sweet. Yeah, either that or you get an inheritance from someone. Yeah, the thing was with a freeze dryer, when you run a cycle, it can take a day and a half to maybe 2 days, depending on what it is that you're drying. And probably the size of the freeze dryer, because they come in 3 sizes. There's a smaller one, there's a medium one, and a larger one. And you have to have a dedicated space for it. And you have to have a dedicated electrical circuit. Otherwise, you would probably be popping a breaker every time you run that thing. At least that's what I've heard from others who have recently got them. But the channel Pennsylvania Prepper, when she runs her freeze dryer, she literally documents everything that she does. She labels it as batch number, whatever, besides what's in it and how much each bag weighs when she puts the finished product in the Mylar bags. And she will show that process in the videos when she does videos of the freeze drying sessions. Not the entire like day and a half or whatever, but you know, she will record a little bit. Sometime later, she might record a little bit more, or she'll record the prep of the food before it goes into the freeze dryer, and then when it comes out and how she bags it, how she labels it, and how she logs it in a notebook that she uses for cataloging her freeze-dried food. Electric can opener. I have had my issues with those. I've tried to use other people's electric can openers, and I just can never get the crapping thing to work, so I stick with my manual. And also with the first generation of those freeze dryers, you had to literally drain oil out of it, filter the oil, and either put that oil back in or put fresh oil in it. With the newer generations, you don't have to do that oil change cycle. Going back for the lemon lime. Welcome back, JW. Had to take off and do something, but that's okay. Keep it on in the background. Rachel, if I have enough left over out after I have a couple bills that have to kick out of my account, and I need to get prescriptions tomorrow, and then I will have a couple of packages to send out. So I don't know if I will be able to get one of those rations that you're doing, but if I could, I would. But then if we get that stimulus check that the House passed, the U.S. House of Representatives passed it during an all-nighter, like early yesterday morning, it passed. Now it's the Senate's turn. So if it passes the Senate, then it goes to Biden for his signature. And that would give us all a little bit more money to play with and use to pay bills and add to our preps, because that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. Oh, cool. That'd be awesome, Rachel. That'd be interesting to see what you put together in that one. Because scoring halal rations is pretty hard. There are cases out there, but, you know, I've had a few of the halal MREs. Not enough that would be an entire case, so I haven't had every single menu. I've had a few of the XMRE ones. And I've had a French one, a French halal. I've had, I think, 2 British halal ones. Actually, it would be 3, but I got one second time, so because I just wanted that one again. But there are other ones that I've seen online that I would like to try. So there are new British halal ORPs in the brown, the tan bag that are sort of the color of this plate, maybe a little lighter. Or maybe the color of these matches. Oops. But I'd like to try some of those. And there are some German halal rations that I would like to try. I rescued that matchbook, so I wiped it off with the paper towel and I leave it up in the dry. So it wasn't in there long, but anyway, I'd like to try those. And I would love to try some Middle Eastern rations, but those are really, really hard to get. And I think there are some halal South African rations too. Blind Fox has done a few of those. But getting one of those over here would be a task and a half. Mike, thanks for dropping in. That would be, I hope you can come back next time. I do this every Sunday at 7 o'clock Central. That's 8 Eastern. That's 6 Mountain Time, 5 p.m. Left Coast. No one is here from Alaska, but I think that's one time zone even farther back than Pacific. According to Alaska Prepper, where he lives near Fairbanks. The freeze-dried lasagna, the Mountain House lasagna, I think that one would be a good one. I've had the spaghetti, I've had the chili mac. Ooh, that one might be good. I have a Minotaur ration coming up in the lineup. But before I do that, I am going to get into the MRE that I have that I got from the last Minotaur mystery box. So I will do that one next week. Now let's see, there's a scrambled eggs with ham, I believe. I think there's another egg that has, I think it's supposed to be omelet. I think it has bacon in it. And I think there's one other egg one that I can't remember the name of it. So those are the three egg ones that I know of are in the MCW lineup. And then Minotaur has an egg entree that it's kind of like the Mountain House Scramble, but doesn't have any pork in it. It's just eggs and veggies. Yeah, the site mreinfo.com. I think it's a .com. You can search there for the different menu lineups because the guy who runs that site knows who his system are cataloging all that stuff, and then people are going back and forth about different rations and what's in them, you know, from the different years. Oh yeah, have fun with that. That's okay, Rachel. If you gotta split, you gotta split. I'm glad you were able to get in here for as long as you did. Yeah, since I live on disability, I don't do with the taxes anymore, but when I did, yeah, the very first year I filed a tax return, you know, I made some errors, but after that I got the hang of it. Or I went and had someone do it for me. But in the last few years that I filed, I did it with the Tax Act. I've never tried any other online tax site or program or whatever, but I use Tax Act, and I found that one pretty easy because you can do state and federal at the same time. And when you put in the stuff from one, it automatically populates the corresponding fields on. See, if I do the state on it, and I have it file the federal, then it populates the corresponding fields on the federal from when I put in the stuff for the state. That way you don't have to do it twice. You only have to fill in the lines that do not have a corresponding item on a state return. But I know others use TurboTax, but I have no experience with it, so I can't say anything really about that. But yeah, I did like Tax Act, so that was easy enough for me. So. Bugger. I sure hope that this thing can get taken care of once and for all. Cancer sucks. Well, you can always tell Zach that, you know, good, successful treatment. There's some Emery pizza waiting for him because I got two. I don't know. I got them out of one of the mystery boxes I bought last month. I'm not sure if it was the or is that, yeah, this for this month I bought them for February, but I don't remember if I got them out of the Minotaur box or the Four and Emery box. I think it was out of the Minotaur one, but I got two pizzas. Oh, cool. Hopefully their internet there will be pretty good because yesterday and the earlier time that Smokey was live from New York City, he had issues with the Wi-Fi. And of course he had issues with the coffee maker in his room. But they got it done, and it was a pretty good stream despite all the hiccups he had. And those donuts looked awesome. Oh, there you go. No harm in trying. And maybe what Smokey said is that if you are closer to a window, sometimes that might give you a little bit better signal than if you're away from the window. I don't know why, but maybe because of all the stuff in the building. Oh, so that would be like one of those, they call it an extended stay. There used to be one called Residence Inn. I don't know if those are still in operation or if those are in another name. But, yeah, those extended stay hotels are basically like an apartment. I think the only thing that they would be lacking, I've never been in one of those, but I'm sure they don't have the in-room laundry. So if you have to do laundry, you probably have to get that done somewhere. That's okay, Pete. I'm probably going to knock this off pretty soon. And I'll just finish up my ramen and my drinks and my brownie. I'll just give another look at it. I would definitely get that brownie again. I've been just a little over 1.5 hours, so I'm probably going to go ahead and knock this off. It was awesome to have you guys drop in. And I again thank Foreign Emery for dropping that super chat. That's greatly appreciated. So I put that money right back into the channel. Either I get rations or I get a piece of gear to test. And I did recently get my Google payment, which was one of the lowest I've seen since I've started getting them, but that's okay. I got something on the way that will be fun to test for my apartment. So I want to find out if this will be a good solution for others who live in apartments or condos. Well, there you go. There's your answer for now, but hopefully you can get a lasagna at one time, Aletha. But, so thanks to Carlos for checking that for her. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and knock this off. I want to thank you all for coming in. And next time, I'll be going back to the regular old MRE. And then after that, a Minotaur Arctic field ration. And I put in my orders for more rations for this month and to get me into April, and possibly some more stuff that I can add to my stash of assorted goodies so I can start doing some ration mashups. Because that box is pretty packed. So I'll let you all know when I get ready to start those up. So I want you to all have a good night. Enjoy the warm weather. You're getting closer to spring. Hopefully we're done with the white stuff. So thanks for watching, and catch you on the flip side.